Hello, my viewer. Welcome to Health Now Show, your health friend. With me, Jane Kariuki. I am a counseling psychologist. I'm so delighted today to have you and to welcome you to this show that really looks into the matters of your health. Health emotionally, health medically, and to take care of you in a wholesome way so that you can live a more quality life. And today, our topic is an area that sometimes we are not aware of it, we may not know what to do, and our topic today is medical issues from a legal perspective. Sometimes we just look at medical issues from a medical practitioner, from a medical professional, but for today, we are going to look at that same medical issue, the accidents, the incidences, the issues that happen when we go to the health facility, when we go to hospital to be attended to, when we are not feeling well, and from a legal perspective. What are some of the issues that we need to know that we may not know? That is why today I'm so delighted to have my guest today, who is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and she's going to introduce herself and take us through this very critical, very important area and topic today, that is medical issues from a legal perspective. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Jane.
Yes.
To our viewer, my name is Wamboi Thuo.
Yes.
An advocate of the High Court of Kenya, practicing in the name of Wamboi Thuo and Company Advocates. Our offices are located in Kiambu. It is such an honor to be here and to deal with the issues of medicine and medical sector in a legal perspective.
Yes.
I am so delighted.
Asante sana. My pleasure too.
My pleasure
too. And I'm so happy to have you here talk about an area that sometimes we don't really look into.
Yeah.
The issues that happen to us when we go to hospital, when we are not feeling well, we are in the hearts of the medical practitioners. They may not want it to happen, but it just happens.
Yeah.
So, kindly highlight some of the issues that or incidences that happen in the health facility with this patient in the hands of the health professionals.
It is important, first of all, for the viewer to understand that it is their constitutional right to health, to attain the highest standard of health. And that is also supported by the Health Act, which came into place in the year 2017. And so the main issues that people deal with in terms of medicine and in terms of the medical area are, first of all, issues to do with medical negligence, issues to do with confidentiality, and issues to do with informed consent. And so when you come to the issue of medical negligence, there is so much, because the law says, and it is so clear, that a doctor relationship with a patient, when a patient goes to the doctor, they expect or they know that I'm going to a person who is skilled, and they owe me a duty of care to the highest attainable health services. So medical negligence comes in when I go to the doctor, I have an issue, I explain to them my issue, I expect to get treatment, and I expect that they are skilled enough to give me the treatment, and then maybe I go home and there's another issue and I don't get the service. So that is where negligence comes in. So in terms of confidentiality, any information I give to the doctor is confidential, and no one is supposed to disclose my information as a patient. And so there are issues when the doctor discloses or realize maybe you have gone to a function and you have a nurse friend. They are not even supposed to disclose anything about me on a casual level. So when
probably they know my health condition.
They owe you a duty of confidentiality. And the other issue pertains the issue of consent.
Oh, consent.
Yes. When it comes to consent, when you go to the hospital, they're supposed to explain to you everything that pertains to your issue, the risk factors, and you can refuse or accept to be treated. So when you go to the hospital and maybe, for example, like a mother, you are pregnant, you have gone to the last stage of delivery, and they tell you they want to perform a CS, you can opt to refuse, and that's why we always sign a consent.
Yes.
But of course in law we say for every rule there are exceptions.
Okay.
So in as much as you're required to give consent, there are times when they can go ahead with the medical treatment without your consent. Yeah. So those are the three major issues that come in the medical area.
Okay.
Yes. And that the law really deals with the three.
Okay.
We have talked about negligence, we have talked about informed consent, and we have also talked about confidentiality. Yeah.
Probably you can look into more of the negligence. What are some of the incidences that we can qualify to be negligence?
In negligence, there are three things that must be satisfied for you to say that this particular doctor has been negligent. Number one, there has to be a relationship.
Okay.
So that is called duty of care. So
with the health practitioner.
Yes. Once you walk into the hospital, once you register as a patient, automatically the doctor owes you a duty of care. You will be shocked. There are even instances when you have an emergency and you call for an ambulance.
Yes.
And if they don't show up, they automatically qualify for negligence.
Wow.
You've been taken probably to a casualty.
Yes.
And you know in hospitals there is a casualty section.
Yes.
Once you appear there, they owe you a duty of care.
The minute you are in their facility.
The minute you walk into a hospital, the hospital automatically owes you a duty of care.
Yes.
And so, for example, the second thing that will be looked at. So the doctor owes you a duty of care.
Yes.
Number two, there's a breach of that duty.
Breach of duty.
Yes. So I have gone to a doctor. I have told them I have this issue.
Yes.
I have this issue. And maybe they do not disclose everything. And they do not treat me in the highest form.
You have explained your mental, your health issue, and then they don't attend to you completely in terms of your health condition.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes. And maybe they give you a misdiagnosis that amounts to medical negligence or malpractice. Yes. So there's a duty of care. You have gone to the hospital. Yes. They owe you that. And then there's breach of that duty.
Okay.
For example, when I've told a doctor I have this condition and they misdiagnose me, there's breach of that duty of care.
Okay.
And then out of that breach, there comes a damage.
Okay.
A case in point, for example, I've gone to hospital. Probably I have an issue to do with, or maybe I need a family planning because I do not want to give birth again. So I go tell a doctor I have this issue, and then they recommend a certain contraceptive, and they tell me with finality that is done. So if I go home and become pregnant, so they first owed me a duty of care. Then there is breach because I've gone home and maybe I've given birth. That means and now there's the damage that will come, of course, because I was not prepared
for another
that amounts to negligence or malpractice. Yes.
Before we move to the next, in the negligence, sometimes it may not be the fault of the health practitioner or the medical doctor, because some diseases have similar symptoms.
Yes.
And I may be treated for this particular disease, but it is the other one because there are some similarities in terms of the symptoms. What would you say about that?
And that's where there's another issue that comes when you, for example, sue a doctor with medical negligence. There's also a duty on the side of the patient to disclose any information regarding to the symptoms and whatever they are going through. So if, for example, it gets to that stage and it is realized that the patient did not disclose anything, the doctor now can come in with a defense that is called, for example, contributory negligence. Yes, both even the patient contributed
Probably you
to
could
the
just
negligence.
look into the camera, Wambui, and just speak to our viewer on that particular one.
I would like to tell the viewer that when you go to the hospital, you also have a duty to disclose everything, everything that you could be going through. Because, for example, if a doctor misdiagnoses you and you go to the point of suing them, and they can prove that probably whatever the prescription they gave you was based on what you said, and then you bring up something new, they can also come in with something we call contributory negligence, that you also contributed to the prescription and to the damage. Yes.
I've seen sometimes when I go to hospital, I've been like when I'm in triage, when the beginning in the casualty, when I'm being taken my blood pressure, my height, my weight, and then I'm asked, do you have any allergies for the medication? But I think that is what you're talking about. So that I'm able to say if there's any allergy medical from the medicine that they may give me. Yeah, go on. You had said
that is what we are calling duty of care. It is the role of the health practitioner to make sure they ask you of any information before they prescribe anything. And that's why you will even go to a doctor and they ask you, are you allergic to sulfur? Are there medications that you do
like
not
me,
take?
I am. I always say,
because, for example,
I'm
if
allergic
you just
to
go
sulfur
and they don't ask you, you take a medication that has sulfur. That will amount to malpractice.
True.
So it is important in the part of information that the health practitioner discloses and informs you of the risks of what everything, any information that could be detrimental to your health.
I know there is a thin line between now negligence and care, because, like, for example, I may not know that I have an allergy of a particular medication. So now, unless I take that medication, that is the time I will know the reaction on the medication. But you had said two, then we go to the third one on the issue of the negligence.
And that's why now the last three, the last one is the damage, of course. You've gone to the doctor, they have not asked you whether you have an allergy or you have any medication that reacts with your body. They give you a prescription, you go home and you have a reaction with your body. So that the damage that your body will face, that is what amounts now as part of the medical negligence.
Okay. So now we have looked at the three. So the negligence in terms of the care, the duty, and all that. Let's go to the next one.
Before we go to the next one, it's also important to know that there are exceptions. We have said negligence, the doctor has to owe you a duty of care. But there are exceptions where it is not between the doctor and the patient directly. For example, in a case of a pregnant mother, I have gone to hospital for my antenatals, but I'm carrying a baby. A baby is like a third party. So the doctor still owes me, owes the baby, the fetus, a duty of care. So, for example, there's a case where a mother has gone to the hospital. They have been operated before the doctor has conducted a pregnancy test, or they didn't ask for all the issues the mother is going through. And when the baby is born, they are born disabled because of the operation. Automatically.
A different operation, not necessarily a cesarean section.
Even during the pregnancy. So you see, the doctor can be sued for the medical negligence against the baby.
All right.
Another case is on the issue of rescuers. A case in point, a daughter has a kidney issue. The father says, I'm willing to donate. The father is operated only for the kidney to go and react with the daughter.
Rejects it.
Yes, the body rejects the kidney. But you see, they should have first tested if it will be okay with the daughter. So in that case, the health provider directly owes the father a duty of care. Yes. There are instances where the negligence or the duty of care is owed to third parties. So in this case, the daughter is the patient, but there's the father who is the rescuer who comes in to donate a kidney, for example, to the daughter. So it is upon the health provider also owes this father a duty of care on checking and conducting the
tests. Probably
the tests. The tests that are required to make sure that the kidneys are compatible. So in the particular case I'm telling you, they did not conduct the tests. And once the kidney was transplanted, the daughter the body rejected it. So they were held liable for negligence.
So it also become a waste. Because now it can't work on the body of the daughter. Okay. Okay. We were to go to the next on confidentiality. So the Health Act provides that the doctor or the health provider owes the patient a right or a duty of confidentiality. So that any information they take from the patient cannot be disclosed to any other person except, I've told you, in every rule there's an exception. Probably there's a court order that requires the information to be given. There are also instances where the patient himself will give an informed consent that maybe his information be used like in medical schools. There's also an instance when it can be disclosed if the matter they are going through, the problem they are going through can affect the public health in general. Because always the public interest comes first. But any information given is not supposed to be disclosed to anyone. At all. Unless, for example, of course, if you're in with a certain doctor and you go to the lab, they can exchange. The health practitioners themselves. But not anybody outside. Not anybody else. The third one? The third one, of course, is the issue on consent. When you go to the hospital, they're supposed to inform you of the risks, any risk involved with the whatever the procedure they want to undertake. And so you can choose to accept, to give consent or not. But it is your right. But as I have said again, the exceptions to the rule. So it's the patient themselves that gives consent, and we call it informed consent. It can be oral, but in most cases, it should be written. Let me just share some very some incident that I did. When I was getting my firstborn, I was told my baby was a breech baby. Kalikuwa kametoka na miguu. So I was told I cannot deliver that baby. I had to do to sign for a cesarean section, and I refused because I was seeing the other mothers in the ward. They are being induced and they are getting their babies after an hour or so wamepata mtoto. Lakini mimi nimeambiwa mine I can't get the baby because I can't get my baby normally. I have to go through an operation. I refused. I refused, and I said I have faith that I'm going to deliver like other mothers. And I was even quoting the way the Bible says that the Hebrew women were getting children very fast without waiting. So I'm seeing a situation like, and actually the doctors talked to me. I said no. But because of what you're saying, written consent, I had to sign before I got into the theater.
Yes.
And I actually got my baby.
Yes.
Yes.
And you see,
yeah,
there's an exception to that rule.
Okay.
You will find out
Yeah.
that there's an emergency and they cannot wait for you to sign the consent.
Yeah.
So they go ahead.
Yes.
What a doctor will always look at is the best interest of the patient.
True.
And there are also instances where the patient themselves have a next of kin. For example, in your case, you could have refused. The best interest of you and the baby would, of course, have been the cesarean section. So if you refused completely to sign the consent, they would have asked your husband, who is, of course, the next of kin, to sign on your behalf.
Yes, and he was not in the hospital.
Yes.
He wasn't there. He wasn't in the hospital because I was done in the morning. Yes.
In that case, they will always look at the best interest of the patient.
That's what you.
But you
that
have
is
a
key.
right to refuse.
I have a right to refuse.
Yes.
To my own detriment.
Yes.
Because if I lose my baby or I lose my life, then it is on my side. Okay. Tuendelee.
So that is the consent bit, and that's why I've said you have a right to refuse.
Yes.
But anytime you refuse also, there should be a form where you sign, so that again you do not come and blame the medical practitioner.
Yes. So that they are also protected.
Yes.
That is what I'm hearing that you are saying.
Yes.
Okay. Now, somebody has gone through an incident, and it is an issue that needs attention, legal attention. What are some of the, before I get to that, do people know that they can seek legal help or assistance when an incident like that one happens?
I presume they should know. Because you see,
now you are wakili.
We always say that you cannot use ignorance. You cannot say that I didn't know, and that's why I didn't get justice.
Okay.
Let people go. The laws are there. The Constitution is there. It is important for them to read the Constitution and know their rights as Kenyans.
Yes.
There is also the Health Act.
Yes.
And there are so many other acts relating to the medical field.
Yes.
So there are and any written law, if any person goes against the written law, automatically it becomes a legal issue. So if, for example, you know a doctor owes you a right of confidentiality, if you find out that they have breached that duty, you can go and seek legal redress. Yes.
Okay. So now, what are some of the steps that I need to take if I am going to get legal assistance?
Okay.
Yeah.
So number one, the Health Act provides that you can lodge a complaint within the facility, the health facility.
Okay.
And they are required to even have an outline in the hospital, outlining how you can lodge a complaint and to who.
Like a service charter?
Yes, yes. For example, if you go to like Aga Khan, they even have a whole list of your rights. And I'm sure you have seen that in so many hospitals.
Yes, I have.
So number one, before you even go to court, you lodge a complaint with the head of complaint in that, or the head of the facility. Yes. And then they are required to give you a response in like 3 months. Yeah. Concerning the issue you raised.
Like I say, probably I was given wrong medication.
Yes, like we have had even of so many issues, like in the maternity wards.
Yes.
Like maybe some people are harassing the mothers. If you lodge such a complaint, the hospital should deal with that. Yes. Then we have something we call compensatory. Action, where you find there's a tort of negligence, you go to court. A tort is a civil any civil action.
Okay.
You go to court.
Yes.
And you can seek damages in terms of monetary value.
Okay.
Yes, in terms of the general damages and special damages.
Okay.
And then we also have disciplinary action. The government has established bodies that you can go and lodge complaints. For example, we have the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Board, where if you have an issue with a doctor, you can go seek a disciplinary action against them in that body. We have the Nursing Council of Kenya. We have the Pharmaceutical and Poisons Board. If you go to the chemist and maybe there's a challenge with the medication you bought there, you can always report to the Poisons and the Poisons Board. We have then the clinical officers, regulatory body. We have the laboratory and technician body. We have the radiation treatment protection body. There are so many of them. And that's why I'm telling the viewer, it is important to go to read the law even by yourself. Go through these acts so that you know what to do and where you can go when you have an issue. We also have like a recommendatory action where you may not go to these bodies, and we have seen this. People even going to the media or even going direct to the Ministry of Health or the Kenya Human Rights Commission complaining of maybe an issue they faced in this like the referral hospitals. And that way you will also get maybe redress. Yes.
Okay. There are quite a number of steps.
And we also even have the criminal side of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Probably that you can say something more about that.
Yes. For example, of course, in Kenya, the criminal law bit is guided by the Criminal Procedure Act and the Penal Code. Yes. So you can find out, like, for example, in the issues of death, of course, no one is supposed to cause death or to do anything that would cause death on any citizen of Kenya. So when such things, if maybe the death of a patient is caused on malpractice of a doctor, you can go and report to the police. They will investigate and they will criminalize the health practitioner. The same applies even to the patient. Because we have seen cases where patients go and harass the doctors. There are doctors who have even gone through sexual harassment from patients. These are things that everyone, the doctor and the patient, both have challenges.
True.
Yes, and they can seek redress from the courts. Yes.
So because we are not looking at only the patient's rights, we are also looking at the health practitioner who is also there. So I'm looking at all the steps that you have given us, and the complaint, the contribute, how you can get redress or even assistance in all the steps. I would like you to just look at this camera and just talk to our viewer who might have probably gone through some of these incidences, but they didn't know where to start. How do they start? Where do they start?
The first step, of course, is identifying the malpractice itself or the issue you're going through. After that, you have to gather all the evidence. Because if you go to court with negligence, there's something we call burden of proof. Who has the burden to prove that negligence happened? You as the patient, you have to prove to the court the malpractice that happened to you. So what you do, you have to know how to gather the evidence and to prove to the court how the negligence came in. Yes.
For example, if I was treated and given wrong medication, I have the card, probably the card that I was the prescription. Keep
every record, because we are saying the burden of proving that the doctor was negligent will lie on you. And in civil cases and in criminal cases, you have to prove to court beyond reasonable doubt. Beyond reasonable doubt. If you're saying that our patient died because of the malpractice of the doctor, you have to prove to court beyond reasonable doubt that indeed it was on their fault, that had they acted in a reasonable way, nothing could have happened or the death could not have occurred. Yes.
Is there a period of time when I am supposed to have reported?
Yes.
Or I can just stay and wake up one morning and decide to go and report?
No. The law is so clear. We have a whole act called the Limitations of Actions Act that, for example, in the issue of civil cases and the torts, you have to report within a period of 3 years. The law is very clear. So you cannot say, I got sick, they didn't do anything for me, or maybe something happened, maybe my mother died because of malpractice, and then you wait for 5 years and you go to court. The court will not have jurisdiction to hear such a matter. So it is a matter of urgency to seek the redress in court. So let's say, yes, you have gone to court within the 3 years, and you have been given judgment, and maybe compensatory, let's say monetary compensation. And then you wait, you don't execute the judgment. After 12 years, if they have not paid you and you have not again complained to court, do you know nothing will happen. So yes, go to court, judgment is entered. Please also execute the judgment in time.
What do I need to do to execute the judgment?
There's a whole... We have auctioneers, of course. There is attachment of property. Yes. Depending on the kind of judgment that has been entered. But you see, in criminal cases, you're either guilty or not guilty.
True.
So if you're guilty, you may be fined, or you may be arraigned in prison.
I know you are not in the body that looks into the medical board. But are there some cases that probably have gone to that medical board and they have succeeded, and the patient probably has gotten redress or assistance, and also the doctor has also gotten support?
Yes. There are so many cases, like now the one I have told you about a father. About a father whose kidney was rejected by the daughter's body. Of course, they went to court, and it was held that indeed there was a malpractice, and they were paid in terms of damages. Now
the father and
There are also cases where people have been paid, awarded damages in terms of money. So now the challenge comes in, because you may not go to court direct. We have said you lodge a complaint with the hospital. If you're not satisfied, let's go to the body that regulates, the medical practitioner. So sometimes these cases may be overwhelming even to the body itself, because there are so many, and so they may take time. But we have seen success in so many of them.
What are there some areas where the doctor has been disciplined because of these issues, the malpractice, as we may put it?
Yes, definitely. And you know, the number one thing, if you're found guilty as a doctor, you can face issues as serious as even cancelling the license.
But how do we also support the doctor? Because sometimes it may not be they intended to do it.
You know, even the law provides for the rights of the doctor and the health provider. Like number one, I have said, if a patient comes to you and they are verbally abusive, physically abusive, they are harassing you sexually, you have a right to not treat them, with an exception of emergency situations. A doctor also has a right for, like where they are working, they have to have high standards of working. There's also a right of the doctor to also seek redress against the patient.
Because they are human beings.
They are also human beings. And you know, it is such a critical area of life.
It is. They are saving a life. They are saving a life. Madam Wamboi, wakili wetu wa leo, I would like you to just look into the camera and talk to our viewer. What are some of the things that you'd like them to know from the medical, the medical issues from the legal perspective, now that you are wakili, and we are, we are sharing this information, very critical information. Just look into the camera and just talk to us.
Our viewer, it is important that you understand your laws. These laws are passed, of course, to come and help us and to help us understand our rights. So the Constitution is here to protect you and me, and it is clear that we all have a right to emergency treatment, to the highest attainable standard of health, and there are so many issues regarding health. It has come up with the Health Act that also stipulates our rights, our duties as patients, our duties as doctors, our rights as doctors, and the bodies we can approach when we face challenges in the medical field. Yes.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Before we close, probably you can share with our viewer where you are located, your contact, so that just in case somebody would like to get assistance, legal assistance, they can contact you.
Our offices are located in Kiambu Town, in Kikinga Annex, the new Kikinga Annex building, first floor, room 102C. And our contact is 0708 340 348 or 0754 596 660. Yes, you're all welcome. That's why we are here, to help each other and to serve justice to everyone. If you are a doctor and you have a legal issue and you would want us to discuss, you're welcome. The same goes to the patient. If you have a legal issue and you would like any help from a lawyer, I am here to serve you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Wakili Wambui.
Thank you.
Delighted.
I am so delighted.
And thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Our viewer, that we close our episode today, and I'm so grateful to this session. Was very, very critical, and I'm very happy that we have been able to share with you information. We'll be bringing more people, more guests that are going to touch into issues concerning your life and especially your health. And I believe that PrayerCave TV Health Now show is going to continue being a help to your life. And until next time, I just want to acknowledge our camera people, our cameramen, Patrick, Ian, and James. Thank you so much for your support. And until next time, our viewer, thank you and God bless you. Bye for now.